One more Rohit Sharma extraordinary, the good to beat all for a pressed house in Ahmedabad. Jasprit Bumrah and turn get the job done, as India hand Pakistan a different Universe Cup beating. India 192 for 3, Rohit 86, Shreyas 53 beat Pakistan 191, Babar 50, Rizwan 49, Bumrah 2-19, Kuldeep 2-35, Jadeja 2-38 by 7 wickets. The game that generally guarantees and seldom conveys went back and forth again, encouraging a lot at different stages, and at last, conveying what a blue mass of humankind had come to see. A devastating India win, a dazzling center overs breakdown from Pakistan, which had them lose 8 wickets for 36 runs, turned what ought to have been an enchanting run pursue into a dull custom. Every India bowler had an impact in their own particular manner. 5 unique players parting the 10 Pakistan wickets uniformly, with Pakistan collapsing for 191, India led by commander Rohit Sharma stunned and sizzled. However, it resembled carrying a weapon to a blade battle. Pakistan had proactively left this game and were spectators as India cavorted home before around 100,000 allies to go to shaft position in World Cup race for which they looked top choices. India won the throw and picked to bowl, going against one of the elements of their authentic ODI World Cup predominance over Pakistan, making them pursue. Simply, in one of their past 7 World Cup experiences have India prevailed by pursuing. Yet, on a sluggish, low pitch, India left the occupation of sorting out the standard score to Pakistan's hitters. Abdullah Shafiq and Imam Ul Haq batted with great quiet in a cauldron right off the bat, arranging Jasprit Bumrah while taking care of Mohammad Siraj no sweat yet again, and when Shafiq succumbed to low skip and Imam to a somewhat wild shot, Babar and Mohammad Rizwan stepped in and started to consistent the boat. Pakistan weren't being conspicuous, yet it seemed like they were being adult, removing the feeling from the game and tolerating the errand ahead would require steel and coarseness. India's bowlers, as far as it matters for them, never truly let them carefully consult. 2 or 3 costly overs would be trailed by a few tight ones, the first change bowlers backing up the openers, and Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja executing their selfish jobs flawlessly. In any case, none of it gave off an impression of being disrupting Pakistan's 2 best hitters much, who struck up a calm 50-run organization and started to expect a place of strength when their chief raised his most memorable 50 years of the competition. Pakistan sat pretty at 155 for 2, yet the blue torch paper was going to be allegorically lit in Ahmedabad. Siraj had been costly in his subsequent spell as well, yet as Babar attempted to point one down to profound third, that shrewd low bob struck once more, thumping back his off stump. Next ball, Saad Shakil required a run that was never there, saved exclusively by a wayward toss. After 30 overs of quiet, Pakistan's nerves started to shred. Also, Kuldeep knew exactly how to take advantage of them. He would agree that. Later he realized Shakil enjoyed the scope shot, so he hauled his length back and slipped one on, catching him in front. The equivalent over, Iftikhar Ahmed was sad to hack one onto his stumps, bowled around his legs off his gloves. India had brought alarm into a shockingly quiet Pakistan, and it could at absolutely no point ever go back in the future. Bumrah, inquisitively wicketless up to that point, tittied up Rizwan one short of 50 years with an unplayable off-cutter, before a speedier one similarly difficult to arrange overturned Shadab's off stump. Hardik Pandya put paid to Mohammad Nawaz, and Ravindra Jadeja cleaned up the tail. A tight Ahmedabad out of nowhere had all the strain delivered, and with India, because of Batsoon, a fair like air-grabbed hold, there was justification for Indian fans, and there were only Indian fans in this Coliseum to be energized for what might follow. Rohit turned out in a similar smooth, delectable structure he exhibited against Afghanistan, taking the assault to Pakistan's vaunted pace unit early, gnawing pieces out of the low objective. Shubman Gill, recuperated from a dreadful episode of den fever, was correspondingly venturesome, and the pair struck 5 fours off the initial 2 overs before one cut off. Afridi flew directly to Shadab at point. It implied Virat Kohli and Rohit were joined at the wrinkle, very much like they had been during that finished parade-like pursuit against Afghanistan. While Kohli coordinated the ball all around okay. This was the Rohit show. Haris Rauf came into the assault and was welcomed by a gigantic tonk over mid-on. For Rohit's 300th ODI 6, 3 balls later, he would play maybe the shot of the game, a cut 6 over cover after impeccably perusing an endeavored more slow ball. Kohli miscued one to mid-on off Hazen Ali, yet India were under no tension at all. Shreyas Iyer was a helpful associate to the overwhelming magnificence at the opposite end, which had Rohit raise a 36-ball 50 runs. Next finished, Rauf was pulled over square leg in one more rich presentation of stroke-making by Rohit as India sped towards the objective. Shadab, horrendously out of structure, was never going to modify the direction of this game. After 2 or 3 tight overs, he was demolished out of the assault by Iyer and Rohit. His last conveyance a loopy midsection high full throw which was such a gift it should have accompanied a bow on it. Rohit would dispatch it into the stands over mid-wicket, and the main ball next finished, Iyer was treating Nawaz the same way. Ahmedabad presently stood by eagerly for another Rohit ton, however in that viewpoint, they would be frustrated. Afridi returned and figured out how to make the Indian commander miscue one to mid-wicket, and he died 14 short. However, that was essentially as great as it would get for Pakistan, as KL Rahul and Iyer facilitated home, the last option raising his unbeaten 50 runs with the triumphant shot, a straight drive for 4. It was the interjection blemish on a success that had been prearranged a couple of hours beforehand in a hyper 10-over spell. Congratulations to India for this achievement. Biggest win ever. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.